You got 2 minutes, and that's it. That's amount of time the investors will decide if your pitch is worth their attention and continue listen to you before they are mentally checked out and thinking about all the emails they have to respond. In this episode, you'll hear exactly how women founders are able to fine-tune their messages so it lands with impact, urgency, and clarity before stepping onto a high-stake pitch tank competition. Welcome to Provider's Edge, the podcast that helps healthcare entrepreneurs and innovators break down barriers and control their business, life, and future with valuable action steps. With me, your host, Sabrina Rombach, a recovered clinician and a business deal catalyst. Let's rewrite the rules and create a positive social impact while increasing your profitability. Today's episode is a behind-the-scene pass into our Pitch to Yes workshop, where early-stage women founders in health tech, women's health, mental health, diagnostic, who are shaping their story on how to connect better with investors on the upcoming Women in HealthTech Pitch Tank. You'll hear raw, unpolished pitches and live feedback that help them to create investor-ready narratives, truly spotlighting what to say, what to cut, and how to hook the room from the very first sentence. Whether you are raising your first 500K to the next 10 million, the lessons will help you pitch with confidence, connect emotionally, and position yourself as the obvious yes in a crowded market.
So I'm the founder of Althia, and we have a great team. And one of the things that I'd like to talk about today is the problem around misdiagnosis. We have 12 million people annually in the US that get misdiagnosed due to the lack of data that's available at the time of diagnosis. 800,000 people end up with severe disabilities or death. It costs us as a system $300 billion annually. So what can we do? We have to build a system for patients, for caregivers, for moms, for busy professionals who struggle to get their data and be able to share it. I speak from personal experience because I have struggled with misdiagnosis for 2 decades. And until I put my data together and was able to share it with my care team, I did not get the care that I deserved. Our SaaS platform makes it easy for patients to aggregate their medical data with their consent and augment it with context. We provide disease predictions and analytics that then are shareable with whomever they choose. I'm just going to quickly run through. We have a very, very large market. We have competition, obviously, but the market is large enough to sustain competition. Most competitors in this space are either aggregating the data or focused on patient engagement. We offer full end-to-end spectrum within our platform, from data exchange to direct-to-consumer engagement. We have a direct-to-consumer and a B2B strategy to roll it out, and we are currently raising $1.5 million to basically scale. We have traction, and we are on. This isn't just a mission for rolling out direct-to-consumer. This is a mission to get personalized care.
Good job. I think your last slide is clear, right? You kind of gave it a chart, whatnot. Slightly busy now. However, the more time you have with someone, that slide is great. What is the competitive analysis slide? I want to see that sooner. So you probably wanted to advance that slide first, then to say, there's a plenty in the market that serves all of us. This is how we are able to cover all stages. And then you have that nice graph of how other people are at different stages, right? So that can help you to cut the time a little bit more too. All right. So as Larry putting out that timer on for us, what would be helpful? Pitch deck or script?
I think script would be better.
I have been training as a public speaker for the past 5 years, right? My TED Talk was on how women are not getting enough funding and how do we break the myth, right? And just so you guys know, there's always room to improve, right? The 3 days before I take my stage, I was changing my scripts, not big things, but it's like, what can I add a little bit of more intriguing to be even punchier, right? So as you guys are practicing, it's always be ready, always have room to grow. And then once you get used to the script, guess what's the next thing? We'll start focusing on how you use your body, right? How do you become connective virtual stages, as well as if you're physically on the stage. What I don't like to see is you guys standing behind the podium and just clicking through slides, right? When you have a room, even a virtual room, you have room to engage with them, right? You have a way to look into them, move with your arms, lean in, lean back, pause. All those things can help you to grab people's attention.
Every year, over 12 million Americans are misdiagnosed, often because their health data is scattered, siloed, or simply missing. I know this firsthand. My own family faced a crisis that couldn't be avoided with better data, better access to data, which could have been avoided, sorry. At Althia, we're solving this with Acuvia, a SaaS platform that gives patients full control over their data, stories, and preferences. Think of it as a digital health passport that empowers care that's faster, smarter, and actually personal. Acuvia pulls together clinical records, social context, and patient-generated data into a unified profile, making it easier for providers to deliver tailored care and for patients to be seen as a whole human, not just files. The opportunity is massive. Digital patient platforms are a $22 billion market, and demand is exploding post-COVID. We've secured early pilot interest, and our pipeline includes 3 health systems and multiple direct-to-consumer partnerships. Our business model combines enterprise licensing with patient subscription, and we're led by a seasoned team in digital health, product, and policy. We're raising $2 million to expand pilots, build key partnerships, and scale our platforms nationally. If you're an investor or partner looking to transform healthcare from the inside out, this is your moment. Let's talk. I love it.
Good. Of course, you have this really soft, comfort voice, right? And your pace is slower than how I would talk. So usually when we do a rewrite, it's keep less than 200, average 100 words per minute. But because you have this really soft and slower pace, you probably want to just to cut some of the words to keep that if it's for competition. But for just a connection or a pitch in front of people, it could be just like some minor change and it's ready to use. What do you feel like is the biggest thing you got out of this session?
No, I think a script is more precise and structured way better. Obviously, I didn't use a script when I was talking earlier because I wasn't ready to pitch. That was just off the cuff. So just need a little practice.
Yes.
But thank you. This is very useful.
All right. You just heard one of the founders pitching about her amazing product and our rewrite as she's reading it out to you and some of the feedbacks we have been giving her. Hopefully you learned some amazing points to take back to how you would do your investor and sales pitches. Now let's hear our next female founder.
Hi, I'm Nancy Schwimbruner from Amplifi DX. Every woman deserves fast, accurate diagnostics. Yet in the US, 3.5 million women each year get the wrong treatment for STF, costing $1.4 billion and delaying care and spreading antibiotic resistance. Why is that? Current tests are slow, costly, and hard to run at the point of care. Our solution, Amplifi DX, delivers lab quality test to treat in under 15 minutes right in the clinic. Just insert the swab, no prep, and our cartridge does the rest. We match PCR sensitivity and the cost and ease of use of a lateral flow test. Nothing else is out there is like that. Our patented chemistry works with universal low-cost cartridge, multiplexed and antibiotic resistance, and made in the US. Is this market big enough for you as an investor? Absolutely. The global market opportunity is $27 billion, and our SOM testing in doctors' offices is $2 billion. We have a world-class team, women-led, that's launched over 30 diagnostic products and raised $9 million, 62% of which has been from the NIH. Huge validation. We're manufacturing ready and launching an RUO this year. Why now? What's our ask? STI crisis is growing, care is decentralizing. It's time to transform women's diagnostics. We're raising a $10 million Series A to complete the FDA clinical trials, scale manufacturing, and launch our test. Did not practice. And it's very early.
All right, Lara, can you put on the 8-minute timer? Okay, so number one is my recommendation is always practice, right? For some of you guys that you have seen me on your judging panels before, this is the first time, right? Always practice. And every time you do this, and also every time before you go into any investor meeting, you always have to do a run through, right? So it's just good to have. All right. So Nancy, would you like to start with your pitch script or analyze your deck? Which one would be more helpful for you today?
What do you recommend?
What do you feel that you want to improve on more?
Perhaps the pitch script.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So let's go there. All right. So something that I didn't talk about with Jessica is your buyer persona, right? So what that means, there are, besides the 8 persuasion factors that we mentioned, there are actually 8 different types of how we get buyer trust. Okay. Mm-hmm. And when we do that, then you become even more powerful because then we know the person across you from the room. When you're in a small group, then we will do research before you go into an investor meeting, figure out how they typically make decisions, and then customize your talk to that. When you are not really clear on who are these people are, then we tend to have to cover all of these areas, right? And so for Nancy, for you, it's a mixture of wanting to talk to investors and build more strategic partners, as well as increase awareness, right? Mm-hmm. So when you have a wide range of people that you're speaking to, you wanted to start thinking about a different buyer architect to fill what they want, right? So number one, what we talk about is the producer. Producer usually look at what big picture things. What is the overall that you can do, accomplish, and ask of us? Okay. And then a director becomes someone who are a little bit more risk averse. So they want to see more of a step-by-step process. So is your go-to-market strategy sound? Do you have good enough clinical data to back yourself up? What do you have to do in the next quarter? Not to say, we're going to make the $1 billion company in 5 to 10 years, right? That becomes too broad and people say, this is awesome. You have the ambition, but I don't know what you can do now, right? Versus the start is all about that social proof. What has the market been telling you that they need, right? So for some people, is they have already been leveraging social media or they have been doing massive client questionnaires, right? To say, this is why we build this because the market told us. And group member is all about team community, right? So they care about equality, balance, and value. So then you start adding those, what are you fighting the big fight for? And then Stunt Double are the first of its kind of combo, right? So Stunt Double has a little bit of everyone's care point, but what they don't want to be seen is that they are just another company. They wanted to find out what is the innovation really behind it, right? It doesn't have to be that we are one of a kind nobody else has, right? That's not meant to be that way. But if the market is still needed, then we just needed to prove that it's existing. So you touch on all 5 of them. Great. So let's look in your persuasion score. Pattern interrupt, revolutionizing point of care, right? Mm-hmm. But just like your first sentence, even when you pitch, all women deserve a better diagnostic. Great. Valid statement. But what I want it to be is, again, just like what Jessica said, is puncture, more emotional hook, right? Have you or anybody else gone through something that's that has a struggle, right? Then why would you create a solution than anything else that's out there for women's health, right? Mm-hmm. And so that goes into women-led equity, right? Something that gave us more of a storyline, right? Mm-hmm. Social proof, mention funding. We just wanted to add more of a TAM, just growth data, right? Is women out there really care about diagnostic, or what are we really tracking that's difficult for us, right? That you know of. Okay. Simplicity. Okay, so when we say certain of these terms, right, mm-hmm. you kind of lose us, right? And even people who are in your market that would know this, then they have to be specialized to know these, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah. If we only wanted to talk to OBGYN, maybe we can add certain of those terms with them. But if we're talking about women who care about women, then we have to remove any of the jargon, mm-hmm. right? Differentiator, first of a kind is great, right? So now we wanted to say combine PCR, speed, right, detection, accuracy. So we just wanted to have differentiation is good. Now, one thing people still going to ask you is, do you have competitor of anybody else? Perhaps it's not doing how you do it, but it's still saying they're going to deliver the same promise. Okay. So mm-hmm. be aware of those things that will be good for you as well, because then you can say, yes, so-and-so company are claiming to be able to do ABC. However, we are able to have more accuracy, or our competitive edge is blah, 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 right? Like, or our clinical team has been doing this for ABCD, right? So that's how you can bring to not, if we don't think we have any competitor, guess what other things we're going to think about as an investor? Do you know your market?
Yeah.
Enough, right? To say that. Traction, great, right? You have nice funding already coming in, right? We're closing the next round. Otherwise, some type of validation will help, mm-hmm. like pilot numbers and things like that. Mm-hmm. Leadership is great, right? Highlighting founders. And then it's about your don't be passive, right? I'm always about, like, it's not about like us share with you what's possible. It's just, this is what we need right now.
What does CTA mean?
Call to action. We're going to really quickly go down to the rewrite.
Now we did a work to rewrite Nancy's pitch. I'm going to present to you how I would deliver this pitch in a different way. Timer starts for 2 minutes. Every year, over 300 million women go through undiagnosed or misdiagnosed for common infections, because the right tools don't exist where they are most needed. At Amplifi DX, we are fixing that. Our DX100 is the first CLIA waived platform that delivered PCR grade result in under 20 minutes. No sample prep, just insert a swab. We're launching our first test in 2025. The only point of care panel that detects chlamydia, gonorrhea, trichromosis, and antimicrobial resistant markers. Further assays like iVaginate, cervical guard, and RespirFast expand our reach across vaginitis, HPV, and respiratory care, all built for real-time diagnosis in OBGYN offices, royal clinics, and community health centers, where delays can be deadly. We raised $9.1 million today, 68% non-diluted, and we are now open to our Series A to scale, manufacture, complete FDA submission, and expand pilot programs across 3 continents. We are a women-led company with 60 plus years in diagnostics, and after winning the Aquarius JPM Women's Health Pitch, we're here to connect with bold investors and partners who want to reshape access to care. Join us. Let's put accurate, fast, and affordable diagnostics where they're never gone before. Compared to Nancy's version and this version, what do you guys like about this particular version? And perhaps how would you want to continue to improve this version?
What's the biggest takeaway for you, Nancy?
Be sure to practice. Yeah. And I think it wasn't clear. I knew that the audience for this pitch is very broad. So it was finding that balance.
Great job, Nancy. Yeah.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
All right, ladies. For the people who didn't get to chat today, what do you think is one of the biggest takeaway you got?
Hi, Sabrina. And thank you, everyone, for being on this call and presenting. You have really great, amazing solutions, and I know it's going to change lives. So that's what we're all here for. I would say that was one of the takeaways, but really for me to take away was really making sure you tap into the emotional, personal, human element of your solution. I think everyone here is, again, very brilliant, smart, and there are so many components into having a startup, into creating a product, but I think also captivating the audience, whether it's investors or partners, into your solution is really important, and tapping into the people that you are serving and looking to create this for is really important to stress. So that would be the takeaway for me.
Awesome. Appreciate you. And yes, I think someone also mentioned it's very courageous for all you ladies just wanted to share, right? Share to the public, getting yourself out there, right? And then it does take courage to get feedback, right? Because we all work so hard to bring this to the market. And then we also wanted to know that other people are really understanding where you're coming from, right? That's the truth. And sometimes if you're below 3 million, guess what? The number one thing you have to focus on, marketing, sales. And then the third most important, operations. Okay. Unfortunately, we can't get away from those. All right, Herman.
Well, I just wanted to thank you guys so much for this. I've seen some pitch competitions, but I'm really excited to see how forward women's health is going. You helped me clarify a lot of our value proposition, and we're seeing a lot of data that's out there, and how do we all aggregate it, keep the experience easy as possible for consumers, and allow them to have one single way or an easy way to aggregate all the great things that are going on here. So we just want to be out there and telling consumers so much about so many of your products. So I'm excited to be able to do that.
Awesome. Appreciate you. Mara, anything else that you'd like to add?
I think for me personally, what I really like is how you bring so much information in a very few words, and especially for being someone that English is not my first language. I really appreciate the way that you tread all the words to give a very simple message.
Appreciate you. and English is not my first language either, right? And we just simply like learn to puzzle piece it. I would say people know that I'm the worst at spelling. So if you ever see anything I misspelled, just let me know. I won't take offense. I'll correct right away.
I think the opportunity to practice itself was really impactful for me. This is the first time I'm presenting before like a business related group. And the feedback on connecting emotionally from the beginning, that's something I was doubting myself. So that's a good clarity that I got here.
Thank you for tuning in to Provider's Edge podcast. We hope you enjoy our latest episode and found the insights and tips helpful. We'd love to hear your feedback on the show and learn what topics you'd like us to cover in the future. So please take a moment to leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform and let us know what you think. Your feedback is essential to help us improve the show and provide you with the content you need to take your healthcare business to the next level. Thank you for your support, and we look forward to hearing from you soon.